Hey, I watched your video, and I was listening to some of those things that you had to say, um, and I actually found that I I've experienced a lot of the things that you say you experienced in this video, um, and one thing that I found to be like, really amazing was a lot of the stuff that you say you found to be really amazing, um, but I just wanted to say like I spent 6 months living in Japan as a foreign exchange student, um, like a year and a half ago. And what I found was that like a lot of change is coming. It's not always gonna be like this. Um, a lot of the people who host foreign students tend to learn a lot from them, and the host family that I stay with, they didn't speak English, and we were able to exchange thoughts and opinions on a lot of the stuff that we were talking about. And a lot of the stuff that you were talking about, we actually covered. Um, and so, having said that, I feel that, like, I don't want to say, um, it's not always like that. Like, I can easily say, they have a 4 year old boy now. Um, and a lot of the way that he's grown up, um, I'd say it's almost no different than than American Child. Um, it's really no different. A lot of the other students that he's around, a lot of his friends are completely different. Having because I when I was in high school, this was before I graduated. This was my senior year. Um, when I would travel to and from high school, um, a lot of a lot of the things that the kids were exposed to. I used to visit a lot of elementary schools. A lot of the things that they were exposed to are not like American environments. They're not. But I was a part of the AFS group, and a lot of the things that they wanted to spread, and that they wanted the foreign exchange students to spread, was a little bit of their own culture. And when you spread a little bit of their own culture, it's almost like taking in new wisdom. And when you take in new wisdom, you tend to whatever wisdom you have respect for, and you tend to take, you start to apply it to your life. And I found that you know a lot of the stuff that I shared with them as an American, and that's not the way we do things. We do things this way. We do things another way. They took that, and they were like, we don't do that way, and maybe this way is a little bit better. So let's apply it this way, or let's apply it that way. So when I don't know how you visited Japan. I haven't seen any of your other videos, but when you go, let's say as a tourist, or you go as like a college student who's like transferring, you don't really get an experience that you get when you actually live there and you stay with a family. I'm not saying that you haven't done that, because I mean I don't know what you've done, but um, you don't get the same experiences if you as you live there. I can easily say for myself, the pros outweigh the cons for me. Having stayed in Japan for 6 months, um, and I can easily say through those differences that I saw, um, I completely agree with how you feel. I can easily say the pros outweigh the cons. Like, man, Japan is amazing, but you're right. They they do. The people that stick out are they tend to be nailed down, or everyone is seen as the same. Um, and I had a chance to talk about this one time. I was in the UNESCO speech competition in 2007, and I talked about a lot of the differences that Japan had versus America. My speech was called "Hito to chigau to yu koto," basically the differences among people. And I won an award for it, and I was on the news. And I actually have a copy of that. I should upload it to YouTube. But um, a lot of the things that I talked about in my speech got me recognized, and people around where I stayed in Akita, which is north of Japan. Um, they recognized that, and before they had seen me on TV, um, I would just commute to school and people would just look at me weird and, who's this foreigner, because you don't really get a lot of African Americans in Akita. But having saw my story on the news, and sawing where I was coming from, and how I had been brought up and my ways of seeing Japan, um, a lot of people were touched by that. And so, me commuting to and from Japan, it was like people started approaching me like, "Hey, I saw you on TV, and I didn't really know you were like this, and I have a lot of respect for you, and what's America like, and blah blah blah." You just have to introduce them to a lot of new customs, um, and a lot of new wisdoms, a lot of new ways to look at things. Because when you do that, that changes people a lot. And so, that's what AFS was about. Was like, um, showing people a different way of looking at things, so that we don't always focus on our differences, um, but we can build towards some kind of better future, because a lot of cultures are much more different than American culture. And I won't say that American culture is number one and it's up there, nothing like that. But just to share different wisdoms and different philosophies with different people gives them a different way of looking at things, and that's the best way to go about sharing how you feel, um, and how you see that you can change things in Japan. Um, and that's what I look towards doing. I definitely look forward to going back to Japan, but I just I commented on this video, and I just wanted to let you know how I felt. But then I felt, you know what? Why don't I go a step further and just post a video comment? Because I like your video. You looked at you put your thoughts into words that, I mean, I could not when I was in Japan. Because when I was first in Japan, for maybe like the first 3 months, all I could look at was like the negative, and I couldn't really look at the positive. And towards the end of my stay, I didn't want to leave, but that's just me. So I just wanted to let you know how I felt on the video. But um, man, yeah, that was great.